What is going on, fight fans? Last night we had the legend Manny Pacquiao return to the ring in a welterweight title fight against Mario Barrios. The fight ended in a majority draw. Let me start out by saying that I took Pacquiao in this fight. I took him by decision. I thought that it would be a close decision, but I thought that Pacquiao would win by decision. Let me start with my pros and cons. Let's start with Mario Barrios first. Mario Barrios is in his prime at 30 years old. And let me start with the pros. The pros would be that in his prime, I thought that he did a good job trying to establish his jab, trying to establish some of his youth. That's why I brought up him being in his prime. I liked the jab that he was using. I definitely liked the straight right hand to the body that Barrios was using, and I liked the left hook to the body. He threw a nice, quick, sneaky left hook whenever Pacquiao would throw his 2 and 3 punch combinations, and he would charge in like Pacquiao would do. Barrios did a pretty good job of dipping to his left and throwing a left hook on the way out. As far as the cons go, I thought that Barrios could have been a little more, aggressive. I think that even at 46, he was very cognizant of the power of Manny Pacquiao. He remembers the power Manny Pacquiao had back in the day. And it seemed to me, especially by the way that he kept his guard up, which is good discipline, that he was worried about the power. I think that's the reason why he did not become more aggressive. But I will throw one more pro in there. In those last 3 rounds, when he really needed him, his corner got in his ear, and he did, show up, and he did better in those last few rounds. As for Manny Pacquiao, the pros would be at 46, he still has decent speed. Not the 2009 Manny Pacquiao against Ricky Hatton speed. He still had good footwork, not the footwork he had back in the day when he was a featherweight. And it still seemed that he had some pop in his shots. So he does still have that going for him. I like the fact that he still throws punches at angles. He had pretty good upper body movement. Defense didn't look bad at all. The cons, though, for Pacquiao is that the age did show. He did seem just a little bit, not too slow, but he seemed just a little bit slower. And he did not seem to have that fire that he once had. And by the fire, he had the fire and desire to get in the ring and to be in shape. And I thought he looked good in the ring, body wise. But he really needed to turn it up in that 10th, 11th, and 12th round, which I think would have got him that win. But he seemed to be content on the game plan that he had. Let's talk about the fight. Pretty much up into the 8th round, it was kind of a back and forth affair. I would say that Manny Pacquiao probably won 4 of those first 7 rounds. The first round was a little bit of a fill out round. It seemed that Barrios was doing a lot of waiting, in my opinion. It seemed like he was really trying to counterpunch more than being the aggressor. But then the 8th round came, and I thought that was Barrios' best round. I thought that Barrios, turned up a little bit. I mentioned the straight right hand that he was throwing, and I also mentioned the straight right hand to the body. I thought that he did a very good job there. And then I want to say that it may have been the 10th round. I'm trying to remember, guys, that I thought that might have been Pacquiao's best round. Pacquiao really turned it up. He was throwing 2, 3, and 4 punch combinations. He was in and out. He was landing short shots. Barrios did a decent job in that round of being defensive. I don't think that he hurt Barrios, but I do think that Barrios felt the power. The 11th and 12th rounds, in my opinion, could have went either way. I think each judge gave it to Barrios, which I have absolutely no issue with. I did think that he turned it up a little bit. I just think that Pacquiao gave it away in that 11th and 12th round. We get to the end. One judge has it for Barrios, 7-5. The other 2 judges have it a draw, which I was not surprised at all. Actually, I wouldn't have been surprised if the one judge would have had it for Pacquiao instead of Barrios, or if all 3 judges would have had it a draw. So now let's talk about what happens from here. To me, if Manny Pacquiao is going to continue fighting, he said that he felt good in there, but he thinks that the fact that he only had 2 months to prepare for this fight might have played a factor in it instead of him having 4 months. 4 months from now is November. I think that what needs to be done is, if Pacquiao is going to continue to fight, they need to go ahead within the next week or 2 at the most, and they need to announce the immediate rematch, and that these guys are going to fight again in November. That gives Pacquiao 4 months to get ready for the fight. The good thing for Barrios is that if they do fight again, that gives Manny Pacquiao 4 more months to get a little bit older. But I think that if Pacquiao is going to fight again, to me, that's the only direction for him to go in. I can't think of anybody else in the welterweight division, especially not a title holder, that I could see him jumping in and fighting and who he's going to beat right now. So if he's going to continue fighting, that's my opinion on it. All right, fight fans. First, I want to know, what did you think about the fight? Who did you pick? Did you pick Barrios or did you pick the legend Manny Pacquiao? What did you think about the fight? Do you think that Pacquiao got robbed? Do you think that the judges had it right and that it was a draw? And what do you want to see from here? Do you want to see Barrios maybe go another direction because he fought a 46-year-old man and had a tough fight with him? Or do you want to see him get in there and prove himself against Manny Pacquiao again? And as far as Pacquiao, like me, do you want to see him get in there with Barrios again immediately? I'm talking this year. I'm talking November, at the latest December this year. Or do you want to see Pacquiao right off in the sunset and say, you know what? The man's been gone for 4 years. He came back. He looked decent. He looked good to me for a guy who's been off 4 years and he's 46. And let's just let that be our last memory of him. Or do you want to see him fight Barrios again and possibly get that title and become the oldest man to ever win a title? All right, fight fans, if you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so we can keep talking boxing. That's all I got for this one. I'll let y'all later.